Black Desert Online. What is this game? A traditional MMORPG? Is it like WoW? Is it like Monster Hunter? Is it a tap target game? What's the combat system like? All fantastic questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer most of these in the video. What's up YouTube? Eternal Rage here, and today I've decided to delve into the beautifully designed world of Black Desert Online. I don't have much time in the game as of yet, but from the gameplay that I've experienced, it's pretty amazing. For the price of this game, you can't really go wrong. The environment is absolutely stunning, and the world just feels like it's a living and breathing ecosystem. There's constantly wagons and villagers moving up and down the roads in between the cities, making you really feel like it's lived in. There's all kinds of crafting, gathering skills that I haven't even started to get into yet. Not to mention you can buy a house. Not sure why that's relevant in the game so far, but it's there, so I'm sure it'll be useful later on. There are currently 19 different classes to choose from. And here's where some of you may have an issue. They're gender locked, meaning you can't swap the female characters to male and vice versa. They all look amazing and the details are second to none for this style of game. When you launch into the game for the first time, your first step is to create a character. And my impressions of this were that the options and details are limitless. And I didn't know when to stop. And I'm sure if you're like me, that's where you're going to spend the first at least 30 minutes of your gameplay, if not longer. I could definitely see people spending hours in there just trying to get every little detail edited to perfection. For me, it's the hair. You have to make sure the hair is perfect. The hair is everything. The creation options are seemingly endless in this game. For instance, you can edit the pupils of your eyes. Don't know why it's in there, but I did it, and it actually makes a visual difference. You can zoom in close enough to your character to see the pupils. Once you have finished your character creation, you'll be ready to enter the world. After a couple loading screens, that is. Now, once you've loaded in, you're greeted with a cinematic cutscene that gives you some backstory, but leaves it rather vague if you ask me. I'm a few hours in, and I honestly have no idea what this floating spirit thing is. I'm sure that'll come later on. And then finally, once your character gets loaded into the world, you can start accepting quests, start turning in quests. If you've played any other MMOs, this is going to feel really familiar. Now, the combat system on PC is completely different from that of any MMO I've ever played. It requires you to use specific combinations on your keyboard, such as W and F, for instance, will cast certain spells, or W plus Shift and right click will do a running attack, and so on and so forth. Around what seemed to be level 15 or so, you start earning new combos that are a touch more complicated, but after a few hours of gameplay, you start feeling things out, and it gets pretty easy to remember. Plus, you get a nice little combo reminder right there on your screen. And maybe that's just for noobs like myself, but man, that thing is handy. But I've got some gameplay footage playing in the background showcasing the combat system in the game. They have these down attacks. When they're knocked down, the enemies take more damage. When you're behind them, they take more damage. And the same goes for you as well. If an enemy attacks you from behind, you take increased damage as well. The questing part does differ in some aspects. When you pull up your quest log, you can actually auto run to your target, which is super nice, super convenient. You can take a break for a second while your character just moves to the next area. Super nice. You can target anything on your map too and auto run to it as well. Makes things really simple. So my initial thoughts on Black Desert Online is that it's fun. And that's what it's all about. I turned this thing on for the first time and had a blast, learning the combat system, finishing quests, and leveling up. Leveling up was way quicker than I expected, comparing this with other MMOs. I quite enjoyed how fast it was going. The game does get a lot of hate due to a pay-to-win aspect, but this is something that I have not personally discovered. I haven't really even opened the cash shop, so I couldn't tell you what that's all about. But for now, this game is engaging and graphically stunning. I'm going to keep playing and see what the in-game content is like. Let's be honest, it's what everyone is striving for in day one of a game. But that's all I've got for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell. That way you'll never miss a video. What were your first impressions of the game? Sound off in the comment section down below. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.